Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
What I'm talking about. All of our guests today brought to you, and that includes Ross Tucker standing by, brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. They're on their holiday break right now. Giants host Victoria at the LEC on Tuesday as we bring in from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Westwood One and CBS Sports. Ross Tucker, best of the season to you. Merry Christmas. How are you, sir?
Likewise, guys. I'm doing fantastic. It snowed really quickly, probably 4 or 5 inches here. My daughters are outside playing in the snow. No school today. So, yeah, man, it's our first, snowfall of the year. I'm sure not for you guys yet. Who are the Vancouver Giants, by the way?
They're a junior hockey team owned in part by local legend Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Big news around
Michael
here.
Bublé?
Yeah.
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 I didn't know he was from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Burnaby.
My wife got me tickets to see him in concert when I was playing for the Buffalo Bills, and we went, and it was shortly after we got married, and we both really enjoyed his music, and it was a great show. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Part owner of the Vancouver Giants. Impress your friends with that information, Ross. Hey, Green Bay, Wisconsin, you were there, Packers beating the Rams on Monday Night Football. You tweeted out before the game, Lambeau Field, your favorite stadium in the National Football League. How come?
Not even close. Yeah. I mean, so many different reasons. Number one, when you drive in there, okay, you feel like you're just driving to a holiday party at your buddy's house in the neighborhood, and you make a right to go down the cul-de-sac or whatever you guys call those in Canada, and there's a stadium. There's an NFL stadium right there. It's unbelievable. Like, it's the last thing you're expecting to be there as you turn the corner or as you go in there. That's number one. Number two, I don't know how they did it, but the inside feels exactly like it probably did 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. They preserved that beautifully. But then they have all the modern conveniences sort of on the outside, if that makes sense, in terms of everything you could ever want. Their food is amazing. I mean, I had 2 brats at halftime. The chili was delicious. Best salad bar in the NFL. And then their fans. Their fans get there, probably half of them, and they're in the stands freezing an hour before the game because they like to watch warm-ups. It's incredible. And I don't even know what it is, but the lighting is just so good. It's a bowl, the green grass, they do a phenomenal job, and then the lighting, it's just spectacular. It's like a bucket list item. You got to go.
Which stadium is number 2 on the list, Ross? Who's close?
Good question. Trying to think some of the other ones I like. I like Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle has some character to it. I like the noise. I like the food they usually have in the press box. Are you sensing a theme here?
Yes.
But no, I like Seattle. I'm trying to think of the other stadiums that I've been to. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them are really lacking in character. You know, they feel pretty cookie cutter. I really like Kansas City, I think, is pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
Kansas City has a cool, old-school feel to it. Baltimore and Philly are nice. Those are some of the ones that jump out to me.
Yeah, Kansas City's loud, too. Hey, in the wake, and this is the first time we've talked to you since the weekend, of course, in the wake of the crazy ending between the Patriots and Raiders, you tweeted out something to the effect of the Patriots are not a well-coached football team. How is that possible with Bill Belichick in charge?
And here's the thing, Donnie. That wasn't in the wake of the ending of the game.
Okay.
I tweeted that in the first half. I'm watching them.
This is before
Mac Jones scores a touchdown on a quarterback sneak. The wide receiver's moving. False start. They end up having to settle for a field goal. They get a blocked punt. I mean, they don't even cover Darren Waller wide open down the field. They're just objectively, when you watch them, they do not come across as a well-coached football team. They don't. And then that last play, well, I've never ever seen anything like it. Just an absolute travesty. Very clearly, Bill Belichick didn't make sure the guys knew the situation. They talk so much about situational football. Well, know the situation. It's a tie game. You don't start the Stanford band play in a tie game. And obviously, Jacoby Myers lost his mind. I give him a lot of credit for the way he owned up to it after the game. I really don't understand why Ramondre Stevenson started that by lateraling it back to Jacoby. That kind of started the negativity. Just brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Is that on Bill or his assistants, or is it on Bill because he hired those assistants?
Well, there is some personal responsibility for the players. I'm a big personal responsibility, personal accountability guy. So there is some for the players, but ultimately it's on Bill and the play caller for not making sure, at a minimum, Mac Jones said to the guys, hey, just going to run a draw here. Let's see how many yards we get. You know, they obviously haven't gone over that situation to know in a tie game, you don't start lateraling the ball behind you. It's really bad. I mean, it's caused them to lose the game.
Hey, Ross, Franco Harris, great Steelers running back, passed away. He was going to have his jersey retired, number 32, this weekend. Your thoughts on Franco and his career?
Several thoughts. Number one, I'm calling the Raiders at the Steelers Saturday night.
Wow.
And was really looking forward to seeing the ceremony to retire his jersey. And it was going to be very much a celebratory occasion. Now it's going to take on a very, very different tone, obviously, with him passing suddenly. You guys know I live in central Pennsylvania.
Yep.
He's a Penn State legend. He's a Steelers legend. He's done so much in that community. Ironically, his son was a classmate of mine at Princeton.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant kid, not an athlete at all. I think he's Franco Harris Jr., but they called him Doc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Doc.
And I talked about this on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast today. One time, I think freshman year, might have had a few too many daddy sodas in me. I think it was Parents' Weekend. I saw Franco Harris walking in the courtyard, and I was like, hey, yo, Franco, did you really catch that ball? Like, and I think about that now, right? And he was like, I don't know, like messing with me. But I think about that now, like, can you even imagine how many times somebody said that to him in his life?
No kidding.
I mean, tens of thousands. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Ross, the Detroit Lions were 1-6 at one point this season. Everybody had written them off, and here they are, 7-7. Looking at the playoffs, what has been the key to their turnaround?
Well, I think probably their defense. Their offense had been playing pretty well even when they were losing those games, but they were losing a bunch of shootouts.
Yeah.
Now the defense is playing much better than they were previously and giving them a chance to actually stay in these games and win some of them. So I would say D coordinator Aaron Glenn and the defense and the way they've performed has been the reason as much as anything else. I think they're going to the playoffs. I mean, I think they're going to beat the Panthers. I think the Commanders will lose to the Niners. I think the Lions will be in playoff positioning at the end of this weekend.
Wow.
The Pro Bowl rosters have been announced this week. Are you good with Geno Smith being in the Pro Bowl games, as they now call them?
I am. Yeah. I think he's deserved it. I think he's earned it. It's unbelievable. I mean, I saw where the Pro Bowl quarterbacks in the NFC are Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith. And all I could think about was my Even Money betting podcast and what the odds would have been on a 3-quarterback parlay.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
To all be in the Pro Bowl of Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, and Jalen Hurts. Because obviously everybody assumes Rodgers is going, Brady. Yeah. I mean, it really is wild.
Yeah, and in the AFC, a lot of people would have said Russell Wilson would have been there, and obviously that's not going to happen. Hey, Ross, last time talking to you before Christmas and the holidays, we're taking a break. Thanks so much for everything you do for us. We really appreciate it. All the best.
No, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Happy holidays to you guys, all of your awesome viewers, listeners. We'll talk to you in 2023.
And we'll say hi to Michael Bublé for you. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, you bet. Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Westwood One, CBS Sports.